Now let's head to the markets now and explore some of those updates from the market. We saw the impressive results from Geregu. That is one of it. And the other, obviously, is the listing of Aradel. So we saw this in the morning, just a little bit of an impressive one here. Power seems to be a very good market these days. But of course, it's very capital intensive. So you can just hop into that place. So this is Geregu. Let's talk about some of these results and what to expect in the coming days from the markets with Mr. Mukhtar Mohammed. Is the Chief Executive Officer of Finance with Mukhtar. Mr. Mohammed, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. My pleasure always.
Yeah, when we look at the Geregu result, I mean, it's so impressive. Over 100% in most of it, and the share price 1,000 naira. One will ask, more power for the people. Is that what has brought this, or are there other sources that have been able to drive this impressive result?
I think the reform is one of those things that you could say attributed to this good result, especially the reform in the energy sector. And if you look at it, energy sector alone, that in terms of energy price brought about 71.4 billion. For me, that is huge. That shows that in their core business that is really providing the profit. So that is a good result, especially when your core business is responsible for the kind of profit that you are seeing. Coupled with that, again, we saw the earning per share also moved up by 9 naira it's now 9 naira 46 kobo. So I think those are very, very good results we have seen from Geregu.
Yeah, and we also see Aradel. They're about to list next week, I believe. That, of course, should increase our market cap, and the issue of petrol and non-petrol and price hike, that's good business for them too, I guess.
Yeah, it's a good one that they are going to be listed, especially. It's not that they were not listed before now, but I think they were in the
yeah, they were in the NASD market.
Yes, and the good thing about them with the recent events in the oil and gas sector, there is a very, very good company for investors to really look at because they are involved. They are major suppliers of Shell, of Chevron, of Mobil, of Seplat. They do a lot of business with those people, and with the current deregulation in that sector, I think it's a very, very good stock for investors to really look at. And like you said, it will dip in the market. We are not told how much is coming. They are really coming into the market. But they are a big player in the oil and gas sector, especially being as major suppliers to some of these major oil companies. So for me, a good stock to look at. And like you said, it will dip in the market, especially in the oil and gas sector.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to a recovery to the 100,000 level. Do you see these moves perhaps taking us there in the next couple of days or so?
I think 100,000 level is the level that we were there before, but we didn't last long. I think it will happen definitely with this listing. It might happen, but I'm optimistic that we get to those 100,000 level and maybe surpass it sometime first quarter of next year when we begin to see listing of Dangote Refinery and possibly the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation and NNPC also will be listed. All those will help deep in the market, and I expect that a lot of companies will come to the market because it's becoming cheaper to play the market than getting funds from the banks and others. So hopefully, I think before the end of this year, we might cross that mark. We just need a game changer. We've seen that the prices of some of these high, very capitalized stocks in terms of value, like Dangote Cement, is still have lost its steam. You also see that MTN also have lost its steam, and some of these big players. So, but hopefully, it just take one policy, and you see that this will happen. But this company coming, yes, it might, but I'm not too so optimistic about that. But going forward, I think we might close the year in that above that 100,000 mark, and from next year we'll begin to see the ocean index going further than the 100,000 mark.
Yeah, and the banks too. In the last couple of days, a lot of negative sentiments around them.
Well, I think the negative sentiment around the bank is driven by a lot of issues, especially with the hike in interest rate, and you know what that will happen to the bank. It comes with We've seen that in their last result, we've seen a lot of imperial charges in terms of non-performing loans. And going forward, we might continue to see that. You know that, again, some of the banks also have done their right issue, they have done their offer issue. There's no clear-cut statement on was he undersubscribed, was he oversubscribed, or how many of them are you going to be listing, and that could also cause dilution in their shares. And I think, especially again, will this right issue or offer issue, will they be entitled to the final dividend in the year end? And then investors are also waiting for the third quarter results to see what will become of some of the numbers that we've seen thus far. And then by that, calculate that if these shares are going to be added, what will be the earning per share? Will they be able to pay dividend like they paid before now? So I think those are part of the things that a lot of investors are looking at, and it's causing that negativity. And also, you shouldn't forget also that some of these banks also will be marking down this week. So that also is a period. A lot of people have been in those stocks before now, and they've made a lot of profit, and some of them are not interested in collecting the dividend. They are also interested in mark it down, and they see good entry point and coming back to those stocks. So I think that's what is responsible. But the banks are still very liquid, very good stocks for any investors to want to invest in, especially at this moment.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Mohammed, for your views and observations right there on the market. Mr. Mukhtar Mohammed, Chief Executive Officer of Finance with Mukhtar.